Welcome to a new journey of understanding and wisdom on Life Lesson TV. Have you ever felt like something essential was missing in your life? Imagine walking through life with a puzzle that seems almost complete, yet you can't shake the feeling that a crucial piece is missing. That's the story of Nana, a 35-year-old woman whose life, by her own account, feels somewhat unfulfilled. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's look at this clip from the podcast.
So, I'm 35, single, never been married, never had kids, and I feel like a child. Now bear with me, listen to this. So I'm 35, I'm single, and I have no kids, I've never been married, and I feel like a child. Yes, this is very true. And if you are in your 30s and you have either one of these elements, you will understand exactly what I mean. There is something very odd and peculiar about 30 plus and not having, I guess, everything configured and put together, okay? And I somewhat feel like a child. And by the way, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being 30 plus and not having everything in place, but I've got to be honest. I'm coming on this channel to be honest about my experience and how I'm feeling, and I do feel a little bit like a child. I feel that I lack responsibility in a way that other adults have, and it's something that I kind of envy in a sense. I envy that adult responsibility because I just don't feel like it's aligning, and it's somewhat very confusing.
Nana, host of the Nana Journey podcast, shares candidly about her life as a single woman, never married, with no children. At an age where many have embraced these milestones, she finds herself feeling more akin to a child, devoid of the responsibilities that define adulthood for many. This lack of traditional adult milestones has left her envying those who possess what she longs for: marriage, children, a sense of completeness. Yet, amidst the envy and the introspection, there is a deeper stirring within Nana. She senses a void, a yearning not just for the milestones, but for something more, something profound. Now back to the podcast.
I'm in like a juxtaposition of being an adult but also wanting the responsibility and not having it of an adult. And I don't even know, it's a weird feeling to have that position. Anyway, so yeah, it's just an odd feeling, because at this age, at 35, I would have expected that I at least have a boyfriend, you know. I would have thought I'd at least had one of these elements, at least have a partner. I would have at least had a child. I would have at least, I don't know, experienced marriage in my lifetime before 35. And I haven't experienced any of these adult-like responsibilities. Okay, I live by myself, so that is a responsibility, but I crave other responsibilities. Becoming a mother, I just feel like there is a level of responsibility for another life that you cannot equate that or have the same level of correlation to paying rent or to doing those things. It's a completely different level of responsibility, and it's a level of responsibility that, from my experience of what I've heard from people that have had children, completely changes your life as a person. You completely become somebody different, and there is something bigger than you, which I really want to experience. That I really want to experience, to become the most selfless person that I can. And I think having children forces you to be as much as a selfless person as possible, and to take the focus off on you but have another responsibility. And it's just something I really crave.
Like many, Nana's journey begins with a deep yearning for something more, something profound. Now back to the podcast.
it makes me quite upset. I mean, to be honest, yesterday I was literally had a bit of a breakdown because I was crying at the fact that I don't have this responsibility and why I don't have it. And it just made me really sad to know that I don't have that yet.
Imagine the heartache in realizing that the window to motherhood might be closing. Nana confesses to a breakdown, tears shed over the children she may never hold. Now back to the podcast.
I know I'm 35. I really know that I'm running out of time. Maybe I've got a year left max. I know. But it just made me really sad to know that potentially I would never have that level of responsibility. And I don't know how to explain it or put it into words, but I'm very much an adult. I'm very much take on responsibility. I mean, I live by myself. I pay for my own things, so it's not like I don't have a level of responsibility. It's just, there is something missing. There is something missing in my life. And I don't know, is it love? Am I missing love? Or am I missing the thought of having a child? I don't quite know what it is. I mean, if you're in your 30s and you're feeling the same way, please comment below and let me know what this feeling is. Because I know I'm not the only one.
It's a profound sorrow touching the very core of her being, and it speaks to a universal truth we all face at times. The painful awareness of unfulfilled desires. Now back to the podcast.
It's just a weird, odd feeling. And you look back at other generations, previous generations before, and you realize how much responsibility and adult-like responsibilities they took on so early on. I mean, also I'm not envious of that, but I think maybe in the world that we're living in now, it makes it really hard for you to have this level of responsibility. Also, I'm going to take accountability here as well. I mean, I haven't got just 35, just being single and never been married, never had kids. So I don't know, maybe it's a poor choice in partners maybe that I've chosen, or I haven't allowed myself to open up to that experience, which I can take full accountability for. However, I'm here at this point now, so I've just got to go with where I'm at this point in my phase of life. I can't keep harping on about maybe what could have been in the past, because the past is never going to crawl back to me. It's done. It's done. So all I can do is live in this moment and move forward.
What if these feelings of envy and sadness are not just emotional responses, but signposts? Signposts pointing toward a deeper, spiritual void that material achievements cannot fill. Emotions such as envy and sadness can be indicators of a deeper spiritual void. What if the thing you're craving isn't what you think? Now back to the podcast.
I just feel that you get to a certain age and you don't have all these things lined up, okay? And it feels very peculiar. Especially when you start looking at people that are much younger than you, that have families, that have all these things. And it just makes you feel very ostracized a little bit in this realm of becoming a woman. And to become a woman that doesn't need to include all those things. But for me, that's one of my goals, is to be a mother. One of my goals is to have love. One of my goals is to maybe to be married one day. And it's just strange to think I've never had these adult experiences. I know there's women at my age that have had kids. They've got married, been divorced by this age, got married again. I know there's stories out there, and I'm just thinking, I've never been through this experience. I've never been through it, I mean, what does that make me? What does that make me at this age? Should I have been through this experience by now? Should I have been married by now? Should I have had kids by now? Should I have, and it just, I question my point in life right now.
In the quiet corners of her 35th year, Nana watches as her friends embrace milestones she has yet to reach. Marriage, children, their lives unfolding in ways she yearned for. This envy, sharp and poignant, digs deep, revealing a layer of emotional turmoil within her. Now back to the podcast.
Because I do feel that there's a lack of purpose in me in the sense of the bigger picture of life. And what I mean by that is I feel a kind of emptiness at my age for the lack of this responsibility. I truly believe, now this is maybe not for everyone, but I truly believe one of my greatest advantages as a woman is to be able to procreate and give birth and to have a child. It's one of my goals. Now, I'm not saying if you're a woman and you can't do that, that doesn't put you in a realm of that you're less or more than. Not at all. I'm just speaking about my experience of what I truly want in life. And I really would love to have a child and to nurture a child, to bring up a child. And I would love to be a mother. And I'm very, very aware that my time is very limited. Like, I'm 35. This means that, pregnancy is much more difficult at 35. It also means it's much more dangerous. There's only so many other factors here. And so I do know my time is very limited here to have that experience. And I just don't want to miss it, And it just causes me such an emptiness to know that is a possibility.
In the midst of the hustle and the bustle, there's Nana, a voice echoing the sentiments of many. At 35, she stands at a crossroads, feeling the absence of milestones that society often marks as signs of a fulfilled life, marriage, children. Yet her yearning runs deeper, touching a void that milestones alone can't fill. Imagine this. Nana senses a presence, something far greater than the tangible. It's not just about the ticking clock or the societal norms. It's about a call from beyond, a whisper of something more profound and transformative. This isn't merely a desire for change or to tick off life's checkboxes. It's a pull towards something that transcends the everyday. A spiritual awakening, a call to explore the divine. Now back to the podcast.
And also this lack of responsibility I feel so childlike. Like, as much as I've got so much freedom at my age of not having kids, not being married, being like, I have so much freedom. I lack responsibility in that sense. Yes, I have my own place. I have to, to make sure that I'm looking after myself. But other than that, I don't have any responsibility. And some people would be like, yay, I love that. That's amazing. But for me, it's not amazing. It's not. And for me, it's not. And when people tell you, like, when you get older and, maybe you don't want these things, but I don't want to give that message out, to be honest, to women, because I do think there is something very important. Now, I've lived by myself for more than 2 years plus, and there is something very, very important around connection. There is something very important that a man and a woman being together, that you can grow and learn from each other. I'm not here to say, men do this, men. Yes, there's bad men, there's bad women in the world, Part of the reason why we attract these is our choice and where we are in life. So we have to take some accountability for that, me included. But I still believe that connection is so important. I truly believe that family is very important. Having your family, if that's what you want to do, is so important and a beautiful thing, and not something that should be like, I get it, be independent, I understand all that, but I don't want to be a 50-year-old woman just with no responsibility, just other than paying for my place. I don't want that. I want responsibility. I'm craving that. I'm craving it so badly.
This yearning, often mistaken for other desires, might very well be a soul's quest for its true north. Sometimes our souls whisper truth through our deepest longings. Could the answer to our deepest desires be misunderstood? In the journey of life, each moment of our experiences and desires tells a unique story. Now back to the podcast.
And I know that once, because you walk around, I'm walking around, like I can literally just walk around. I've got no responsibility, like really rarely responsibility at this age. And I'm just walking around, I could be just going out and like, I'll look at like a woman with a child, and I just think, at one point, yeah, it's so easy. I can just get up, go wherever I want, do what I want. You know, it's so easy for me to do that. I don't have to think, I don't have to plan, I literally don't have to do anything. You know, my life is pretty easy peasy. But then I look at women with a child, and yeah, you can walk past. There's two different ways you can view this. You can walk past and there'll be a screaming kid, and you'll be like, thank God. Whew, yeah. And then you can look past it the next time, and there'll be a mother just like watching her child play, or just being very caring to her child, or you'll see a child there just going towards their mother, and it's just like, you are responsible for that human being's happiness, well-being. And I think that is so amazing, and I think it pushes you into another level of adulthood that I just really want to experience. And I'm trying to understand what this is. I'm just craving more responsibility. I feel weird. I feel like I'm a 20-something-year-old. Like, my level is at like a 20, like a young 20, but I'm like 35. And it's very odd to have such minimal responsibility at my age. I don't know, I feel very like, almost like teenage-like. I don't know, I don't know what it is. I just don't feel like I just don't feel like an adult, like a fully grown woman. I really feel like a child sometimes.
Nana's story reveals a poignant yearning to be the most selfless person, a trait she believes will be fulfilled by having children. It's a common notion, isn't it? The belief that giving ourselves to the care and nurturing of another life is the pinnacle of selflessness. However, this perspective might just be a leaf covering the mouth of a deep well. Diving into the well, one discovers that the water of true selflessness doesn't spring from the acts we perform, but from the understanding and peace we nurture within ourselves. When we seek fulfillment in the external, be it through relationships, children, or accolades, we risk building our happiness on a foundation as stable as sand. Nana, like many, might be overlooking a critical piece of the puzzle. It's not the children or the relationship status that forge the depths of our selfless nature, but the relationship we hold with our own spirit and a higher spiritual power. Seeking guidance from a spiritual realm, be it through prayer, meditation, or contemplative practices, could offer not just solace, but a direction that resonates with the core of one's being. True selflessness begins not with changing our external circumstances, but understanding our inner world. It's in the quiet moments of introspection and the whispers of the divine where we often find the answers we've been searching for. Imagine discovering a love so profound it fills every void. This is the kind of love that doesn't just happen between two people, but emerges from a deeper spiritual source. It's the love of God. A love that can transform lives and heal the deepest of emptiness. Now back to the podcast.
I understand the evolution of life now. I understand why probably we age the way we do, why there are certain biological clocks and times of the way we do, because I do believe maybe at certain ages we are meant to have certain levels of responsibilities if that's what you want and that's what you choose. And if that is something that you want and you don't have that by this age, it does become a weird existence. So for me, it is feeling very weird. I feel very, very childlike in an adult, grown person's mind. I try not to be too harsh on myself, and to sit in that feeling too long. But it is a feeling right now that I'm finding it difficult to shrug off, and I'm almost a little bit embarrassed by it as well, that I don't have all these things, because it is something that I really do desire. And I'm embarrassed in the sense of I just personally don't fully feel like a fully grown 35-year-old woman. I just don't, and I don't know how to explain it. And when I say childlike, I don't mean your mindset, I don't mean that your growth, your thing is, I just mean an existence of feeling like you lack the fully grown adult experience that you thought you would have had by a certain age. And it's just an odd feeling walking around this world lacking these responsibilities for me personally. So I'm doing this to know that my thoughts, someone else can understand this, and there's another woman that gets this as well, because it's very lonely experience sometimes when you're in this position, because a lot of women in your 30s, they have a lot of their stuff, like they're married or they've got kids, and when you don't have any of these things, it can sometimes feel quite a lonely experience. Like there's no other woman out there, that has this.
Nana, like many, experiences a longing that material things and human relationships can't satisfy. It's a void that echoes through her life, a whisper of something missing, something essential. This is where the divine love of God steps in, a love that is complete and unconditional. Consider the words from Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that all things work together for the good of them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. This verse isn't just poetic, it's a promise. It suggests that every moment of confusion, every tear shed, and every feeling of inadequacy can lead to a greater spiritual purpose when aligned with God's love. For Nana, and perhaps for many others, the journey isn't about adding something new to their lives, but uncovering what has always been there. God's love isn't a distant prize to be won. It's a foundational presence, already within and waiting to be recognized and embraced. This transformative power of divine love does more than fill the emptiness. It redefines existence. It turns every moment of longing into a step towards spiritual awakening. Every pang of envy into a reminder of infinite grace. It's not just about finding love, it's about discovering the source of all love. And the source of all love is undoubtedly God. Now back to the podcast.
And hopefully, you never know, look, in a year's time, my life might change. I don't know, next week my life might change. I hope so. I hope I meet the love of my life. But it's very treacherous out there, the dating scene. But I'm going to put out that it's not. So it's not, I don't want to put like it's like that, because then it's going to be like that. But, maybe it can just change overnight. And I truly believe it can. And I've put myself in a realm of, I've really got to be a bit more open. I have to put myself, take accountability for where I am also, and what's led up to me being at this age with these things. And there are many different factors that play into that, which in future videos I will talk about as well. And because it does get a bit deeper, but I promised myself that if I got in a position where I'd be living by myself, that I would speak about this as well. And I think that'll be a very helpful video. But yeah, it's just, there's many different factors here that why someone could get to this age and not have all these things in place. And but I do know that I do have to consciously and conscientiously I hope I said that right, make a really thought out kind of effort now going forward. And the women in their 30s, you know what I'm talking about. It's mad out there, you know, and we've really got to put if you're single and you want to be in a partner, we've just got to bite the bullet. Okay, we have to do things differently. You know, you've had that saying, doing the same thing every day or over and over again is the answer to insanity or something like that. You know, so we've got to change something. We've got to do something different, me included. I'm also saying this advice to myself. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to switch up. It's 2024. I don't want another year going where I'm just like single and this. Firstly, I don't have the time to be messing around like that. And I've just got to be a bit more, you know, come on, going for what I want in a conscious way, and just being a bit more proactive, I guess. And so 2024, I'm going to be a bit more proactive, especially in my love life. This is the most important for me, my focus. And hopefully I won't feel like a child anymore.
What does it really mean to invite spirituality into your life? Well, it's about creating a bridge between the seen and the unseen, between our daily routines and the divine. For Nana, and perhaps for many others feeling a similar void, the path forward can be illuminated by a few practical steps. Firstly, prayer is a profound way to begin. It's not just about asking for things. It's a practice of opening one's heart and mind to a higher guidance. Whether it's a quiet moment in the morning or a reflective pause at night, prayer can be the key that unlocks a deeper understanding and connection. Secondly, engaging with spiritual texts can be transformative. These aren't just old books on dusty shelves. They are living documents that breathe wisdom into our lives. Whether it's the Bible, the Torah, or any other sacred scripture, these texts offer insights and stories that resonate with our deepest struggles and aspirations. Reading them slowly, pondering each word and phrase, can open new dimensions of understanding. Listening to spiritual teachings is another enriching step. This could be through podcasts, sermons, or lectures that delve into the mysteries of existence and our place within it. These voices can act as guides, helping to navigate the often turbulent waters of life. Importantly, don't overlook the value of community. Sharing your spiritual journey with others provides not only support, but also different perspectives that can enhance your own understanding. The journey is personal, but you don't have to walk it alone. Every journey begins with a single step, a step towards love and completeness. In the unfolding story of Nana, we've seen the depths of her emotional struggles, the ache of unfulfilled desires, and the yearning for something greater than herself. Nana's journey is marked by a poignant realization, one that many of us encounter at various crossroads in life. She believes that marriage, children, or perhaps another milestone would fill the void she feels. However, the essence of her longing isn't found in these milestones, but rather in the embrace of a deeper, spiritual connection. Now back to the podcast.
I want the trajectory of my life to be different, and the only way it's going to be different is if I behave differently and become a person that behaves in a way that I want, where I have all these things in line. And you know, I'm a great believer of manifestation. I'm a great believer of what you put out there is what you get. So I've got to back it up with action, and so that's what I'm going to do. And you know, hopefully I can turn this around. I really want to come back here on this podcast and be like, you know what, here I am. Here's my child. I would love that for myself. I would love that. I would love to have a child like in a year's time, and then it's very ambitious. I would love to meet someone that really understands me and I understand them, and we're just on the same page. that wants a family. I really want, you know, to have that responsibility and to experience that. And but you know, and then probably when I do have that, hopefully hopefully I will have that, then I can come back and be like, hopefully I would, when I have experienced that, maybe I don't know, maybe my story will change, but I don't think it will. I think it will change me and make me a better person to have more responsibility. So yeah, I'm the 35-year-old woman that's never been married, never had kids, and is single. Here I am.
As we've explored, Nana's envy of others' lives and her emotional turmoil are not signs of weakness but indicators of a soul searching for its true north. Her cravings for love and completeness are not desires that can be easily quenched by worldly achievements or relationships. They are calls to a higher love, a divine presence that seeks to fulfill us in ways that earthly experiences cannot. Nana's journey is not unique to her alone. It mirrors the odyssey many undertake. The path she is poised to walk, one of spiritual awakening and seeking God, promises not just answers, but a transformation that aligns her with a love profound enough to permeate every aspect of her existence. In this voyage towards spiritual fulfillment, the message is clear. The search for completeness isn't about acquiring more, but discovering that the most essential needs are met when we connect with God. Remember, the search for completeness ends not when you've found everything you want, but when you realize everything you need has been with you all along. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and keep living with authenticity. Remember that life is a journey. Be sure to visit lifelesson.tv for more.